Hello everyone. Today is Friday, June the 30th, 2023. My name is Shelly and this is my channel Proverbs 31:22 where I share mostly cross stitch, some quilting, and I'm about to jump into a new hobby that I'm going to show you some stuff that I got for it. So, yeah, I'm glad you're all here. I'm filming from the northwest corner of Alabama in a little town called Rogersville. We are currently experiencing extreme heat stretch, and coming home from work yesterday, I experienced something I've never experienced before, and I hope I never experience it again, but drove into a hailstorm. And so I did do a little video when I was on the side of the road waiting for it to clear, so I'll insert that here. Yep, this is happening right now. It's been one crappy day from the very beginning to now. Driving home from work into a hailstorm. Everybody stay safe. So, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of life update right here. And if it's not something you're interested in, just fast forward to the next part when I start talking about haul is going to be the next part. I desperately need to get my craft room kind of straightened up a little bit. I've got some sewing projects that I want to work on, and it's a disaster in here right now. And so I'm kind of doing this video as a way to encourage myself to clean it up. I can put all of my stuff that I have out to share, away once I show you things on this video. So, for those of you that don't know, I work at a medical clinic as a checkout clerk. My oldest daughter works with me there, and what day was it? Wednesday on the way to work, someone was in the left lane going slow, and it's a pet peeve of mine. When you do that, whoever does that, it's just so incredibly rude. It's not safe. It's illegal. When I have somewhere I'm going, I want to go the speed limit, maybe a little over. I don't want to get behind someone who's going, 10 miles below the speed limit in the left lane. You can't go around them if you've got a car on the side of you, and if you don't, they leave a blind spot around the side of them, and that's what happened. So I started going around this car, and there was a piece of rubber from an 18-wheeler tire in the middle, and I could not safely go around it. And so it, of course, went underneath my car, big, thump. And we drive a little bit down the road and start, hearing this noise. At first I thought it was a tire, but it wasn't a tire. It was the little plastic skirting that's on the front of the car that had fallen down. So thankfully Kim was with me, so she was able to pop it back in, drove it to work, drove it home. I think it was okay that day. And then the next day, yesterday, she was going to get her nails done after work, so she took her own car. And so I get, probably 3/4 of the way to work, get to a stoplight, and I hear the dragging sound again. Now my husband, actually it didn't. So on Wednesday, Kim's husband picked her up from work, so I came home by myself. Right when I got to the light here in Rogersville, I heard the sound. I pulled into the Hardee's parking lot and, called my husband and said, hey, can you come pop this thing back in? He did. When we got home, he looked at it again. He thought he had fixed it. And then yesterday on the way to work, it fell down again. And so I pulled off of the highway onto like a little service road, a not busy service road because it goes down to this little, smallish hotel. And it's a dead end right there. It butts up on Shoals Creek. So I pull over onto the little service road, get out, call my husband, look under there. I see that, wood's falling down, and I get on my hands and knees to try to fix it, or to get him on the phone and ask him, okay, what do I need to do to fix this? I'm not mechanically inclined at all. Like, if you give me something electronic, I can figure out how to fix, hook it up and stuff. I don't have any problem, using electronics or computers, but mechanical stuff, nope. So, anyway, he was telling me stuff to do, and I was like, well, I can't really reach it. And then, I don't know, I got ready to, stand up, and I couldn't stand up. I'll have that sometimes where I don't really have pain. My legs are not strong enough for me to be able to get up without holding on to something to pull up on. So, I don't handle stuff like that well. Like, I'm used to, doing what I want to do and doing what I need to do. And you've heard me talk about this on this channel before, with my physical limitations that have really worsened, I would say, over the last few years. It's really frustrating. And so I was on the side of the road, car running, in the middle of a heat wave, on the phone with my husband, on asphalt, and can't stand up. I'm in tears. I'm frustrated. And, he's like, can you, crawl over to the door and open the door so you can, use that to pull up? So, crawling on your hands and knees on asphalt is not pleasant. Let me just say that. It took me quite a while to get over there and get it, but I did finally stand up, and thank God. But by that time I was bawling and just so frustrated and just upset. So he said, it's not going to hurt anything to drive with it like it is, just go to work, take it to the dealership and let them check it out. So I went online to set up a service appointment, and they couldn't give me anything until July 11th. And I was like, I'm not driving that this long like this. So, my husband, of course, he was, upset that all of that had happened to me, and he's like, I should have done, a better job making sure it was fixed. It's like, it's nobody's fault. It's just, it is what it is. And it's just frustrating for that to happen. So anyway, he did, put some screws in it last night, and, he thought it was good to go, but I did, just to be on the safe side, go down to, Adam's Body Shop here in Rogersville. If you live anywhere in the area and you're looking for someone to do work on your car, I cannot recommend them highly enough. They fixed our car when I had an accident a while back, and they are the nicest people in the world, honestly. So I went by there today. They checked it out. They put a bolt or a couple of bolts in it, and said that it was good to go, and they didn't even charge me. So they had a bunch of people in there with hail damage from yesterday's storm, so they were pretty busy. But, they got me taken care of. But anyway, that was just a really frustrating, a frustrating start to the day. I had to go to work, and once I start crying, sometimes I just can't stop. And I was just like, okay, I gotta get it together. I finally got it together. I did my day's work. I was very distracted mentally. Didn't feel good because, my legs were killing me from being down on my hands and knees on asphalt and trying to stand up multiple times. And anyway, yeah, driving home, I run into a hailstorm yesterday. So that was just sort of like par for the course for yesterday. So, but thankfully, we're off on Fridays. We're off Monday and Tuesday. So I have a long 5-day stretch with no job to go to. Yay! Looking forward to that. So we're coming up on the 4th of July here in the States. So that's what's going on. Otherwise, not a whole lot. Some frustrations happening with my dad's estate still, and I won't go into all of that here, but just suffice it to say I was dealing with that also yesterday, and that was, it just was a lot all at once. So I didn't stitch it all yesterday. Our internet, of course, is out because of the storm yesterday. So I watched some Netflix on my phone and, finally just like read for a little while and went to bed and woke up in the middle of the night and read a little while longer and had some errands to run this morning. So I'm just getting back home and had lunch and wanted to just jump on here where I feel kind of okay. Now this video it might be filmed over 2 days. I don't know. We have our stitch group tomorrow. Usually that's when I film, is after that, but I did want to get a start on this and hopefully I can finish it today. Okay, so that's it for life updates, unless I remember something as I'm going along. So let's get to the haul. I don't even know where to start. Let me start with Hobby Lobby. So, sorry, I thought that was my phone. So, don't you love how when you open something and find money you didn't realize you had in it? Okay, so I have some pieces that I did by Hands On Design. They're Year Celebrations #1. And the one for June is a beach scene, and that's not my plan for what I'm going to decorate. I wasn't thinking about all that when I first stitched those because I was right when I came back to stitching. And so I kind of want to... I have the month on there, and so I kind of want to take the month, like rip it out. I don't want to undo the piece and have to do all of that. So I kind of want to take frog the month, and then I have to replace it with something, obviously, because it's, going to have not thread marks, but, it'll also be empty. Even if you can't see that I stitched there, it would be empty. So I went to Hobby Lobby and got... these little beads with letters. So I think I'm going to spell out beach with these. And then they have these little seashell beads that have little, holes where you can string them. So I thought about, doing beach like this and then have like a little string of beads going down where the big J would be for June. So I picked those up. While I was there, they had this ribbon on clearance, and I don't even remember. I don't know, when I saw it, it triggered something in my head to use this for something. So anyway, I don't remember what the project is currently though. So that was just a little haul from Hobby Lobby. I have bought from Cross Stitching Supplies in the past, and she has decided to close her shop. So she's been periodically marking things down lower and lower, trying to get rid of her stock. So she sent something, I think it was all like 40% off recently. And so I went on there and looked for fabrics, and I think I need my head examined, but yeah, I got some 40 count onyx. I've got some 46 count. The highest I've stitched on so far is 40. And so, yeah, 46, I don't know. If nothing else, these are pieces that I can, sell. I mean, I got them, 40% off. So They're, you know, pieces that I can sell. So this is all Zweigart. This one is Mocha. Actually, this is a Zweigart base, but this is Weeks Dye Works is the dyer. So I've got, basically they had like cuts, and they had so many of the cuts left. And so I couldn't like buy, you know, just a piece. It was like I had to just buy cuts. So I've got some 40 count onyx. Some 46 count Confederate gray. I don't think they call it Confederate anymore, but I don't know what the new name is. Some 46 count straw. And then several more packages of the 46 count mocha. And she did, like, for some reason, she thought that these were less than perfect pieces, and so she partially refunded, you know, what I paid. She also had just a few, you know, a few skeins of floss left. It wasn't a whole lot that was left, and so I just was able to, I saw this one that I thought was real pretty. It's Cottage Garden from Classic Colorworks. And then I picked up some of these. This is the color that I'm using on my linen and threads sampler, which I'll actually be working on in July as part of WhipGo. So that's from Cross Stitching Supplies. Okay, so let's see. I have done Fat Quarter Shops Stitch Quarterly before, but I haven't done it in a while. But every now and then they'll have something that really catches my eye, and so I just purchase them individually. It's a little bit more than what the club pays, but you know, I'm just not wanting to do the subscription because I don't really like all of the patterns that they come up with. But anyway, they showed this one. I think this is the one for June. A few weeks ago on their channel, and I just loved it, so I picked it up. It comes in this cute little bag, and one second. Okay, I'm back. I always drop something. So the pattern for it's called Summer Paradise, and it is June 2023, and this is the pattern. It's so cute. I think it's so cute. But what really, really got me to want to order this is this fabric that it's stitched on. I mean, can you even? So, this is from, I believe it's from Fabric Flare. Yes, Fabric Flare Sea and Sand 14 count Aida. And so, this is their printed Aida with the beach on it. So they tell you in the pattern like where you're supposed to start it in reference to this white horizon line, well, not horizon line, the shoreline. And so I was like, I've got to stitch that. I do want to do beach theme like in August, and so you know, that's kind of why I want to take the June off of that hands-on design and just replace it with, you know, some other stuff so I can put it out in August. They have this little needle minder that matches the house. You get the thread pack, DMC, and a needle. And then they always give you like a little notion in the, not give you, but there is a little notion in the pack. And this time it was this pressing mat. Now I have one that's larger than this, but this is from Cottage Garden Threads in Australia, and so I kind of wanted to try it. So this was, you know, something that kind of caught my eye too to get the kit. So I've got all of that. I have no idea when I'm going to start it. You know, I don't have any plans right now. I just really, really like that fabric and wanted to snap it up while they still had some. Okay, so I also ordered from Fat Quarter Shop a while back a book and some fabric. I also have some fabric off of Etsy for the same. I want to make one of the quilts in this book, and so I had been like debating on this and going back and forth, and someone brought it, Janie brought it to our stitch group last month. I think it was last month, and I was able to look through it, and I just love it. So it has the cross stitch pieces also in here, and then they're doing a stitch along, and it may be that I don't know if they're done with it or not. Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with their quilting channel a whole lot, but I know that they were doing a stitch along with with this quilt right here. And so I love it. I think it's so pretty. And I just don't have a lot of like red, white, and blue in my stash. And so I really like Minnick and Simpson, patriotic, colors in their fabrics. And so I picked up some stuff. So, Fat Quarter Shop has these cuts called Jolly Bars. These are exclusive to them. They're basically a layer cut in half. It's a 5x10 rectangle, and each one comes with a pattern in it, a different pattern in it. But I picked up 4 of these from Minnick and Simpson. Sorry for the crinkleness, but so this one is Rosalind. I haven't taken these out and looked at them. I didn't even open the box for days and days, which shows you how much quilting has like really, and I hate that. It's going down in my, down as far as priorities of what I'm able to do. But this really makes me want, really want to stitch this. So I'm trying to figure out how to get this where I can kind of show you a little bit. I'm going to do a bunch of crinkling, and I don't have any paper scissors. Anyway, this is basically just some reds and kind of tan. So I just kind of wanted to get a variety of their different things. This is Newport. And so it's got a bunch of kind of blues. Just pretty blues. This is not Minnick and Simpson. This one is. So this is Isabella. And it's red, white, and blue. So got those. And then they had this one from French General. That's with a bunch of blues. And so I figured this will give me a good variety of, fabrics to use for several of the quilts in that book. So just blues and creams. So that's from Fat Quarter Shop, the fabric. The Minnick and Simpson and that French General fabric. They also had a flash sale the day that I was shopping on this Fiber on a Whim, and it's called Hibiscus. So it's 32 count Belfast, and I think it's really, really pretty. And it was, I usually don't buy like Fabric Flare and Fiber on a Whim because they're kind of pricey, but let's see. They had it for like $16.37. It was on flash sale. And so it's an 18 by 26 fat quarter. So I thought that was a pretty good, pretty good price while I was ordering other stuff. Now I've been watching Rachel Q Stitches as always, and she's been getting back into doing more quilting, and she started buying some scrap bags from Fat Quarter Shop. She got that one that was all panels, and I really wanted that one, but when I went to their site, they didn't have any available. So I just ordered a scrap bag and got this, I mean, you know, I know they don't know me, but man, do they know me or what? I love grunge, and I love that. I mean, if I was a grunge, this is the fabric I would be. So these are all, you know, it's all with the fabric pieces. It's 2 selvages. It's folded in half. And they're just varying lengths. And they don't necessarily go together. Now, Rachel had some that, you know, they went really well together. This is some Corey Yoder. I have some of this already. The Goodness Grows quilt had that in it. So here's a pretty green grunge. A really bright yellow. Put that in with my LSU quilt stuff. I thought these are really cute. I don't even know. I don't know who this is by, but it's really cute pumpkin print. And then here's the blue background. It is from Moda. Deb Strain. It's some kind of harvest. I saw harvest on that other one. Then there is this is from Corey Yoder. The X's, love that. This is from Wyndham. It says space something, but it's stars. And then this piece. Which is from Art Gallery, Katerina Rochella. So, I just kind of wanted to try this to see what I got. It's not something that I would ever, you know, I don't see myself buying a lot of these, if any more. I would buy the panel one, though, if the panel ones came back in stock, because those I thought were really, really cool. The one that Rachel unboxed a while back on her channel was really cool, and I really wish they would have had that in stock. But anyway, I mean, that builds up my stash a little bit more. You know, there's a lot of colors in here that I would not have in my stash, and so that was a good thing. Okay, so I also went on Etsy to get some more Minnick and Simpson red, white, and blue. So I ordered from the Gray Finch company. And that's their Etsy name, the Gray Finch Company. All, you know, one word all together, because that's how you have to do on Etsy. So this is a Belle Isle fat quarter bundle. So she, you know, split it in 2 so that she could fit it in the bag, but just a, you know, wide variety of red, white, and blues. I want to say that, I'm not sure. I know one of the Sew Sampler boxes had some red, white, and blue Minnick and Simpson that I've started working on a table runner with it. And this might be the same fabric, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it wasn't, you know, if it was, it wasn't enough to do anything else with it, because I think it was like charm squares. But this, you know, will give me plenty to, you know, with, you know, put in the background to make a quilt. So kind of a salmony, you know, pink. and just really, I just really think it's pretty. I love their fabric. I don't know if they're all sort of patriotic looking. I don't think so, but I do like their patriotic looking quilts. Okay, let me put this away and I'll be right. Okay, so my other purchase, I found out about from watching Christine over at Stitch All the Things. I watch her pretty much every Sunday. That's when she uploads. And she's been doing more quilting the last year and a half, probably something like that, couple of years. When I first started watching her, she was pretty much doing cross stitch only along with some bag making, but now she's, you know, added the quilting back in as well. And so she's been making table runners and just all kind of things. And she's been doing some wool applique. That's not something I've ever done. I've done, you know, regular cotton on cotton applique. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I think a lot of that is related to the fact of having to turn the edges under, and I can't get a real smooth curved edge. And so with the wool, you don't have to do that. So I'm hoping that I like this a little bit better. But anyway, she's doing a stitch along with Friends of Buttermilk Basin over in Facebook groups, and they are working on this quilt. Another patriotic. I guess I'm, you know, liking the red, white, and blue right now. So, you know, every time she would show it, I go, man, I really love that. Man, I really love that. But man, I don't need another thing, you know. And then it was just like, man, I really love that. And so I finally pulled the trigger, and I actually got, you have to get the magazine to have the pattern. I mean, they give you like tips and things on the Facebook group, but you know, you don't have the pattern. So you have to buy the magazine from them, and they had it at a really good price. I think it was like $2, something like that. I bought the fabric, the whole kit. I brought the whole kit, the fabric, the wool, the thread, and even the little button pack, which I thought I had right here, but now I'm not seeing it. But anyway, so you get the cotton fabrics to make the top and the binding, I think. Maybe it's just the top and the borders. I don't remember, but yeah. So you get that. And then you also get their, and they had this in with it. I don't have any idea what that's for. I honestly don't. Now I may figure it out as it goes along. But you also get the pieces of wool, which they've already, you don't have to felt it. It's already, I guess it's already felted. I don't know anything about wool. I watched some videos this morning trying to figure out what I needed to do. I mean, I didn't even know. Like, I had to ask over in the group, do you iron this before you? Do you iron it to get the creases out? Like, you know, kind of scared about it. But anyway, I give you this one more piece. I always drop something. You know. So, I don't know when I'm going to start that. I really want to start it soon, and so that's kind of why I want to get my craft room kind of straightened up. Now, I also need to work on the bags for the Stitch Retreat that's coming up in July, the 3rd week. And so, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's my purchases. I do believe that's all. I haven't done any more little thread shop orders, but I am planning one soon. Yeah, that's all. That's all the haul. So let me just quickly scoot this out of the way. I don't know what happened to the little button pack. There's a little button pack that comes with the kit from Buttermilk Basin. Now, they have a lot of free patterns that they offer, and so if you're into wool applique, I would definitely go check them out. I don't know where the thread is either. Oh, okay, here's the thread pack. So it's got some Weeks in it and then some Valdani. I've never worked with Valdani, but so I'm looking forward to that. I'll watch some videos and yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to do the route of fusing it or if I'm just going to glue things down. I really haven't decided yet. Yeah, I haven't decided. So, okay. Now I'm just going to kind of grab things and show you stuff. It's not necessarily in any kind of order. And let's see. So this was part of my whip go for this month was this one in the Prim Stitch series. And so I got a pretty good little start on it. And my goal on these is to get 500 stitches, so I did get 500 stitches into it. I think I did a little bit maybe on the border, and then did the little birdhouse with the flowers. This is a 32 count Jobelin in the color Lamb's Wool. I'm using mostly her called for DMC flosses. I think I did substitute one of the reds out for a darker red. Hers was more pinky looking and I didn't like that look. So I've also been participating in Fat Quarter Shop's Red, White, and June stitch along, doing some patriotic stitching. There you go again. So I have been having this in my stash since they did the club back in 2019, 2020. And I was supposed to start it last year for Father's Day and did not get it started. So I went ahead and started it this month. So I was in the club. I have the kit from Fat Quarter Shop. So it's a 14 count chalkboard black Ada with the call for flosses that are included. And this is a piece of leftover that I had from one of the other, you know, I've got several packs I haven't even opened, but that is what I got done on it. So pretty. And these are the flosses. I also did, worked on this other piece that I've started before. It's a magazine design. And I made it part of my Red, White, and June. So you saw the picture that I just put in of the model. The fabric that I'm using is a 14 count Ada from Hobby Lobby. And it's sort of like a cloud looking fabric. The fabric that I chose, the white floss, hardly showed up on it at all. And I didn't really care for that. And so I kind of wanted to, you know, I wanted to be able to see what's on there. And so I went ahead and changed colors. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy with it. A lot of people online where I've shared it, you know, said, hey, I really like your version. So I also decided to, like underneath here, they had a little like dividing border and sea to shining sea and then a border at the bottom. I already knew I wasn't going to stitch the bottom border, but after I got going and started, you know, getting it close to a finish, I said, I'm just going to leave it right where it's at and call it a finish. So I mostly use DMC. The blue down here is a Victorian motto. But otherwise it's DMC flosses. So I'm very happy with the way that came out. Let's see. So, I watched Deb over at Creatively Yours. She had FlossTube number 108, where it was her and her friend Alice. I love when they are together. Now they're in the Netherlands, and so I just love watching them and, you know, hearing about everything that's going over there and listening to their accents. Honestly, their accents kind of sort of remind me of, you know, my Cajun grandma. It's just that sort of, I don't know what it is about it, but it kind of sounds the same to me. So she talked about a couple of things that I wanted to share. One was a challenge that they're doing over on Facebook, not Facebook, on Instagram, and maybe in Facebook too. I don't know, but and I don't remember the name of the channel right off the top of my head. I'll put it down across the screen right here. But this mother-daughter team that does this, these floss tubes, they came up with the challenge, the hashtag FFO Challenge 2023. And I think that's really cool, just to be able to go on Instagram and get inspired by all kind of finished, you know, fully finished things. So I definitely started following that. Now they are both working on Heaven and Earth design called Ornament Butterfly. And OMG, man. Yeah, I love it. I will own it. I just know I will. So, let's see. So, hang on. Let me go grab some. No, I don't need to. I got them right here. So I did work some more on collecting colors. I didn't get my 500 stitches the last time this was called in WhipGo. And so I went ahead and got this block right here finished. Now this is a free pattern from Aurifil that's designed by Susan Aki, the same one that wrote the Summer Memories book with the quilts and the cross stitch. Just the same person. So I'm using DMCs and just sort of choosing my own colors. I did this one right here. I did follow like the same, you know, same type of colors. She's using Aurifil, of course. And I just, you know, pulled some DMCs to match. So this is a 28 count Monaco that I'm stitching 2 strands over 2 threads. Something happened with my WhipGo. I got like, I don't know, I got off on it a few months ago, and I stitched on something that hadn't been called yet. And I don't know what happened. So anyway, I know by the end of the year, I'm going to have my, you know, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I'm going to have my goals met. Okay. Let's see if there's something else that I have right here. Showing my stockings already. My genealogy piece for June was Lori Holt's Flea Market Flowers. My family heritage piece. This is a piece of 36 count linen that I hand dyed, and I'm using mostly over dyed flosses, Weeks, Gentle Art, Classic Color Arts, Victorian Motto, a few DMCs thrown in, and I did go online and find a quote, and I'm drawing a blank on who said it. It was one of the first ladies. I don't remember if it was Eleanor Roosevelt or I think it was Lady Bird Johnson. So these squares right here, they're supposed to, you know, the flower and then the stem, and then it's supposed to have a flower right here and the stem going up this way. So I decided I'm just going to do the flower heads and then do the quote right in, you know, where the stems would go. I'm also thinking about replacing some of the other flowers with words or, you know, letters, maybe the year, things like that. So I stitched this as my family heritage piece in honor of my cousin, Penny. who is no longer with us. But growing up, I was very close to her. And then when she had children, I was very close to her kids. And so she could grow anything. I loved everything about her. Like, down to the perfume that she wore, the way that she was able to grow stuff, the way she decorated her house. When I was little, like in third grade, I would use her name on my school papers, and like my little third grade boyfriend, I wrote him something and he wrote back and he said, "Why do you call your name Penny Lynn?" So, I just really, really loved her and admired everything about her. And so, I wanted to stitch these pretty flowers to remember her. So, I have my stockings right here, but I'm pretty sure I've already showed my stockings. So, I need to go grab a couple of other whips, and I'll be right back. As I'm going along gathering stuff, I'm finding all the stuff that I didn't have a while ago. So that's the button pack for the little patriotic wool applique quilt. I had to go and let my dog in, and so while I was in the living room, I went ahead and grabbed this. So this is the June piece from Hands On Designs. So, I want to just take the letters out and either do the cubed letters right here, spelling beach going up and down, and then do the seashells here. That might be a better idea, because those beads would probably cover up more area right here, and then here I could do 2 strings of the shells. So, don't know when I'll get to doing that. I'm thinking it's achievable. I hope it is, but if it's not, oh well. Okay, so I went and grabbed my other whips that I've been working on. So I did have one more patriotic piece that I stitched on. I started this for BBD Weekend Sal, and it is their souvenir Summer Jubilee. It's from the Souvenirs of Summer books, but it's Summer Jubilee. So I'm having to tweak these colors a lot, which, I would rather just be able to just pick what they called for, but, my dye lots just aren't the same. Or I didn't have the colors, I either didn't have the colors or my dye lights weren't the same. And I'll try to, look at the picture and sort of figure out what, was what. Now, they did sort of a yellow for the letters, and I started doing that with a one of the DMC, not variegated, but the ones that are like in the 4000s. I forget what they call them, but I have a yellow one of like that, and so I started doing the letters with it, but I didn't like it, mainly because that color was real similar to this, which is going to be a little butterfly or moth. I don't know, it's butterfly or moth, one or the other. So I went and frogged it all out, and then went back in with some blue. So this is my progress. I've kind of divided the chart up into 12 pieces. And so hopefully over the next year of BBD Weekend Sales, I will be able to get this completed. So this is the 40 count anthracite linen that I had bought from Cross Stitching Supplies before. The first time I ordered from them, I ordered this. So it's just a Zweigart standard color. And my colors are just a variety of, overdyes. Really overdyes. I don't think I have any DMC in it. So that's another piece that I've been rotating on. No, I haven't. Well, I think I stitched on it the first weekend of the month, the Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday. I could be wrong, but anyway, once I got started working on America, I kind of wanted to keep working on that. So I just did that little bitty piece on the Liberty jar, and then pretty much the rest of the month I've been stitching on America, so I could get it finished according to me. So I did stitch some on Elizabeth. She's my other, like, you know, one of the main whips that I work on every month for 4 days usually. Now this is Hands Across the Sea. And she is a big one. So, sorry. She's so unwieldy to handle and try to film. Okay. So this is where I worked this month. So I got some more done on the border. I did get the right dye lot of that color and frogged it and re-put it in. And then I did this little moth slash butterfly and this little critter right here. And that's pretty much all that I did. You know, I was trying to get page finishes on this, and I may go back to that in 2024. But for now, I'm just doing the 4 days every month. Mainly because I'm working on those family heritage pieces each month, and so yeah, you know, it's only so many days and so many hours in each day. So now this coming month, July, I'm not planning on working on a family heritage piece. I didn't have one that, you know, was calling to me, or, you know, that I wanted to stitch in honor of someone, and so I probably will put more days in on Elizabeth. Okay, so I worked on some magazine pieces for the Magazine Monthly Challenge. If you don't know about that, it is a group over on Facebook. I take it literally as in it's a magazine challenge. So I only stitch on magazine projects that I fit into their prompts. And usually what it is, it's like a theme and then it's an acrostic. So, you know, it's pretty loose. You can, you know, you can usually join up one of your whips, you know, with one of the letters in the acrostic. I'm not going to participate in July in that either, and so that will, you know, give me a little bit more time to work on Elizabeth as well. But I did work on some this past month. So this is all sewn up. Now this is supposed to be turned into a biscornu, but I didn't place it right, and so I'm just going to turn it into a little pillow and, you know, call it done. So it's just a piece of 14 count like oatmeal Aida, and I'm just using DMC flosses. Mostly the called for, some I had to substitute, but so my goal was to get this side right here done. Now notice I need to go back and fill in the dark green on that. I didn't see that before, but anyway. I try to just do small goals on these because there's so many of them in a month. You know, so many different ones. So, but I worked on fall into autumn. And I worked on finishing this row right here, and then I started putting in the border in between. Not the border, but the divider. Getting, you know, pretty close on this one. I mean, I still have another, got like a house to stitch, so, you know, not super close, but I love it. And this is an 18 count, you know, oatmeal Aida, and I'm using 1 strand of DMC flosses. So cute. This is a series of designs by Cheryl McKinnon, who was Tiny Modernist, and they were in, I think it was Cross Stitcher magazine, either Cross Stitcher magazine or the World of Cross Stitch magazine. This piece was in a Just Cross Stitch magazine. It is called Nativity Silhouette. This is a piece of that 14 count chalkboard black that I had, you know, extra pieces of in that club. And so I'm using it so that hopefully I don't have to stitch the outline of the stable and the Holy Family because they're black. So I'm hoping that, you know, I can just leave that unstitched. So 14 count chalkboard black Ada using DMC flosses. Some they're called for, some my own choices. This right here is a blend, which I'm not totally crazy about, but I think once everything's stitched around it, you won't see, you know, it won't stand out like it does now. At least to me when I'm looking at it up close. Okay, so my focus piece right now is Our Father from Anne Makes Things. That's her blog, and that's also her Instagram. And so this is something that I will stitch on every other week until it's done. And I love stitching on it, but you know, I really wish I could get finished with it so I can move on to something else, because you know, I don't know, I get bored stitching on the same thing. So maybe that's why I have so many freaking whips. So this is a 32 count linen from number, I'll put it across here, number 12. She's got a different Etsy and a different Instagram. But anyway, she's a dyer who lives in Australia. And I ordered one of her Valentine packs, and this was one of the linens that was in it a while back. I'm using Anne's called for DMCs. She has a beautiful eye for color, and so I just went with her colors. She actually used these same sorts of colors on her her flea market flowers. And I think that's when I first started following her, was when I was following that hashtag. So, okay, so I talked about Christine at Stitch All the Things a while ago. And she recently, does a giveaway every month, not every month, every video. A lot of times it's Fat Quarter Shop stuff because they send her their new products. And she's also usually, she also usually participates in their stitch-alongs. And so she gave away some of the supplies for, no, all of the supplies. Now, not all of the stuff that, like, the thread that came with this was, I think it was weeks. And she just replaced it with the DMC for me. So she got the kit in for Haunted Halloween. And the piece of fabric that they gave was large enough for her to do hers and her to cut off a piece to give away. So this is Pistachio from Fiber on a Whim. It's an Ada. It's very, very nice to stitch on. Now I'll stitch in hand, and I don't like a real stiff fabric. So this is very soft and very, very nice to stitch on. So she gave the fabric, she gave the threads, she gave the these little floss bitties from Fat Quarter Shop. And you know, that's just a few of them. There's a whole pack with these. And then, let's see, I don't have it, but there was a little pumpkin needle minder that also went with it. I don't really use needle minders, not on my projects, because I stitch in hand and they're usually kind of heavy. I'll put them like on my, you know, cart and stuff where I can, you know, just stick my needle there, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so I started stitching this. I'm not trying to keep up with the stitch along. I don't normally stitch Halloween stuff, but I really wanted to try stitching on this fabric. And since she gave away the stuff for, you know, doing the stitch along, I felt like, you know, yeah, just do the stitch along. So it may be something that I give away. It may be something that I decide to FFO and sell it. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just trying to like outline and then, you know, do the letters, and then I can just fill in when I'm on the go or whatever. Let's see. Oh, yeah. My Jeanette Douglas bouquet blocks. I've been working somewhat. I didn't work at all on them this past week at work, but I thought I had started the next one, but I didn't. So I got this one finished. Got that one finished. Now I'm going to cut all of these apart and make them into little pillows, so that's why they're just sort of scattered out. You know, and I don't even know how I determine where I'm going to put them. I just know that I don't need very much room around them. Sometimes I'll accidentally space it too far out, like this one. But anyway. So I had pulled the threads to start the next one and brought it to work with me, and then realized that the threads that I had with me at work were actually the set for this block. I had picked up the wrong threads that morning. And then the rest of this week, it just didn't work out where I had time to stitch on it at lunch. So I haven't gotten a whole lot of progress on that, but that's part of a stitch along that we're doing with our local stitching group. If you want to stitch along with us on these Jeanette Douglas mini bouquets, which was a freebie on her website in 2022. It's not free anymore, and I didn't find it in her shop, so I don't know if she's planning on uploading it in her shop later. But anyway, if you want to join along with us, the hashtag is Shoals Serenity Stitchers 2023 Sal. That's our hashtag. I think it's only me and one other person that's working on them. At least that's been coming to meetings recently. I think maybe one other lady's working on them, but she's been visiting her grandbaby, so she hasn't been to group the last couple of months, which, you know, totally understandable. That is all I've got for you guys. Plenty enough. Plenty scattered. You know, I don't know. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if you make FlossTube videos, you know the work that goes into it and the mental energy that goes into it. Some days I have mental energy, most days I do not. And so I just do the best that I can do, and it may be scattered all over the place. But, you know, I watch those videos of people that do it that way, and I like them. So, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you get lots of stitching time over this holiday weekend if you celebrate the 4th of July. And I don't know when I'll be back with the next video, but I'll see you next time. Bye.